So if you're new to a Spanish club or you're just thinking about a Spanish club, especially at this time of year, you're probably thinking, Hispanic Heritage Month is already here or it's just around the corner. What am I gonna do? Don't worry, I have a few different ideas for you. Okay, let's talk about 7 activities you can use during Hispanic Heritage Month with your Spanish club. In case you're new to organizing a Spanish club, or you're maybe just using this video to think about whether or not you even want to start a Spanish club at your school, make sure you check out my blog post here on ideas for Spanish club activities. And the reason why I bring this up before we really get into the ideas is because at the beginning of the blog post, I have some tips and tricks for you on how to get one started. How do you handle expenses and dues, and like, is this something you even want to get into at all? Like, what is the level of organization and like the duties like for you? So if you are just considering starting a Spanish club, make sure you check out this blog post here. I will put the link for it in the description box below. And if you're looking at this video ahead of time and you're like, okay, I've got some time to put things together, I have a few more ideas that are a little bit more complicated or a little bit more organizational. That way you can pick and choose what's going to be the best fit for your Spanish club and, your life and work balance. Okay, let's talk about 7 activities you can use during Hispanic Heritage Month with your Spanish club. The first idea is to just volunteer with a community member who is speaking the target language. And this is going to depend on your community, right? Maybe there's a church organization that you could work with. Maybe there's somebody in your city government that you could reach out to help you start connecting dots. But find a community member and see if you can do some volunteer work for them. Sola Zucar has a great blog post where she details this and gives you more suggestions, and I'll make sure to link to that down in the description box below. The second activity idea I have for you is kind of a team effort on your club's behalf that is the actual activity that will then translate into an activity for your whole school to celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month. So what you're going to do with your Spanish club students is, either during Hispanic Heritage Month or even in the meeting leading up to Hispanic Heritage Month, you're going to give them the task of compiling a playlist. And this is going to be songs and artists, right? Wherever maybe they're things that you've listened to in class beforehand, or maybe they already have things that they like and that they listen to on their own. Either way, they're going to build the playlist, and then you're going to give it to your secretary or your admin or whoever it is that's in charge of passing periods, and you're going to let them play music over the loudspeakers in your school during passing period time. And this could be throughout Hispanic Heritage Month. They're going to pick and choose from that playlist. Maybe they're just going to shuffle it on Fridays. You can talk with your admin to figure out the exact details. It's kind of a two-parter, right? Your Spanish club is doing something, and then your whole school gets to celebrate it together with them. Activity number 3 is a little bit more complicated, but the payoff is huge and your students are going to love it. This activity actually comes from Profe Nygaard, who has a blog post detailing all of the specifics. Again, I'll make sure to link to that in the description below. But what she recommends is organizing a food truck day. And I think that this would be super fun over a lunch, especially if you're wanting to, show off your program a little bit, maybe do a little bit of recruiting, but you could also do it after school and have the food trucks come after the school day has ended. Your Spanish club students could stay, and then it could be kind of like a dinner together sort of thing. Either way, right, again, it's probably going to depend on what your admin is cool with, but both options are super fun. Okay, activity number 4 is one of the most simple options that you have, and it is to host a movie night. Obviously, you want the movie to be something cultural and something related to Hispanic Heritage Month, but it's pretty simple, right? You're going to pick out a movie, maybe your officers could choose the movie, and then you're going to play it for your students, whether it be in the school auditorium or a classroom, wherever works. Option number 5 for Spanish club activities is to play trivia with them, and you can do this like a game night where, you split them up into teams and they get points, and the winners, get prizes. Or you can just do, hey, let's see what we know. Like, what do you already know? And just play trivia. It depends on your students. Some students are more competitive and like to have the whole game aspect with points and tracking and, trying to beat each other. And some are cool with just playing to see the answers. You know your students best, but those are both great options. Activity number 6 is a music bracket competition. And you can do this as big or as short as you want to with your Spanish club, because if you're only meeting one night a month or one afternoon a month and you are not going to be there for several hours, you probably don't want to do a full bracket. But you could do like 4 or 5 songs or 6 songs and have them just play little snippets vote for their favorites, and then see who wins, right? Again, there's that competition piece, but this is a great way to incorporate music from all over while you're working to celebrate with your students. Mis Clases Locas already has a bracket made for Hispanic Heritage Month that is a really awesome option because she includes music from a variety of countries, so you don't have to go do the legwork of finding music from several different countries to show your students. So that's a great option for you as well. Activity number 7 is kind of like the second idea that I shared, in that it is an activity and then something you can share with the rest of the school as you're trying to celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month as a student body. And what this one is either trivia or fact. Your Spanish Club students are going to either research or come up with a list of trivia questions or come up with a list of facts. Have one of your Spanish Club students read either the fact or the trivia question during the morning announcements or during a particular passing period. And then again, you have this choice if you wanted to make it a competition, right? If you have homerooms in your schools or wherever your students are during those announcements. Like, for example, in other schools that I've worked with, we always had announcements during second period. So you could play trivia with the second period classes against each other to see who wins. Again, that's just a way to up level. It would be easier to just have your students read facts as like a little tidbit of the month kind of deal, but if you wanted to do something a little extra fun or your school gets really into competition, adding that trivia piece would be a fun way to change it up. Okay, so this video shared 7 ideas for Spanish Club, but if you want to see even more ideas for Spanish Club and things you can do all year long, including ideas and tips for how you can manage your Spanish Club, make sure you check out my blog post on ideas for Spanish Club. I'll make sure to drop that link in the description for you. Or if you'd like to see even more ideas for how you can celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month, whether it be in your school or with your Spanish classes, make sure you check out the video I'm going to put here for you on the screen. This has everything you need to know to think about while you're planning your activities, your lesson plans, and tips to make sure you don't forget or leave anything out important during Hispanic Heritage Month. Got it? Okay, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.